Welcome back to R.A.I.N. I am Sharif. For this video series, I would like to cover proper perspective, just to make sure that everyone is on the same page with the concepts, and let's get into it. First, let's have a little recap that the Treaty of Peace and Friendship between United States of America and the Empire of Morocco, that gave them permission to be here on this land. Alright? The Constitution that was established and ordained for the United States of America, that gave them the instructions on how to run their corporation while they are on the land. All right. Just looking at my notes. Since 1933, that United States of America entity stopped existing. It no longer exists. And I covered that in other videos with the Emergency Banking Act, House Joint Resolution 192, and Executive Order 6102. So that United States entity does not exist anymore. That was the United States of America entity that signed the Treaty of Peace and Friendship with the Empire of Morocco. That is the same entity that signed onto the Constitution, because remember, that entity was created in 1777 with the Articles of Confederation. Look it up. The Articles of Confederation. That's where you see the words United States of America for the first time. It was created back then. Then the government structure was changed because the states had too much power on an individual basis. The states had too much power. So the Constitution was introduced and the United States of America signed on to it. Remember, it was ordained and established for them, not by them. It was for them. All right? But that entity no longer exists that signed on to the Constitution. It was ended in 1933. Same with the treaty. It doesn't exist. That entity does not exist. And since we the people, and we are also Moors of the Moroccan Empire, those documents came from us. Therefore, we are the law. We are the law on our land. We, the aboriginal peoples. All right. Hopefully you're not confused, but if you are, I do have a little analogy. Let's say, for example, your front yard, your backyard is pretty big, and you're out there trying to cut it and everything. Some guy pulls up. Let's say his name is Rick. Rick pulls up and he offers you a deal. He said, look, I could take care of your lawn for you, and we could work out the details on paper. Have a little contract and all that. And shoot, his offer sounds good. You agree, and Rick starts to cut your lawn. He does a good job and everything. And then all of a sudden, like maybe 2 months later, there's somebody else out there doing it. And you're wondering to yourself, well, where's Rick? And so you go out there, you talk to the dude that's out there doing it, and he's like, well, Rick went bankrupt, and all his contracts they came to me. So I'm cutting your grass now, and my name is Paul, by the way. And you're like, no, uh my contract was with Rick. My contract is not with you. My so you need to pack up your stuff and you need to leave, cause my original contract was with Rick. It didn't say anything about you, Paul. So that's where our people are today. Is that these people that's claiming to be United States of America, they're not the original entity that signed on to the Treaty of Peace of Friendship. They're not the original entity that signed on to the Constitution for the United States of America. It's not them. Um, so I hope my little lawn care analogy sort of helped clear a lot of things out, or clear a lot of things up. Let's see. I would like to reiterate from past videos that we don't need civil rights. Civil rights is something that was given to the so-called black people by the United States government, by the imposter United States government. And that can be taken away from you. So they're actually privileges, and they're illegitimate because it comes from an illegitimate entity. It's not the same entity. And plus, the so-called black people, they're out of pocket themselves by calling themselves black. And so it's like one illegitimate entity is servicing an illegitimate people. Like, these people have to they have to know who they are. They're not black. I mean, I've been over it many times. Let's see. Oh, another thing where we don't experience racism, we're under colonial occupation. I mean, they're here. They know that they're here illegally, unlawfully, and they're just oppressing the Aboriginal people. And to keep the pressure on, they do various methods that you see out in the street, and they feed you little words for you to go upon as a distraction. And racism is one of those words that they use. So it's not about racism. It's about colonial occupation. You gotta see the whole picture. Let's see. Everything that they do involves jurisdiction, and since they're illegitimate, they have to get you to contract with them, and that gives them that gives them the right to act upon you, which is jurisdiction. And that's how that works. So remember, do not contract with these people. Do not sign anything, especially if you're out there standing on your rights. And policy enforcers, otherwise known as police, arrest you or try to give you a ticket. Do not sign any of their paperwork. There are ways to get through that. But that concludes part 1 of this video series. I will be back with part 2 to cover proper perspective. All right. Peace.